Hey guys, welcome to yet another The Hallway video. Another The Hallway video, and we are so glad to be back with all of you. If you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we know you're gonna love it here, and we would love to have you as a part of the Hallway tribe. Today, we're just gonna do a little cooking and a little chatting. There's been some things happening out in the streets that we've been discussing amongst ourselves that we'll kind of chit chat with you guys a little bit, but we're gonna be making this crab soup that we absolutely love. So one of the things that I do is when we go out to eat, there are certain cocktails, certain entrees, appetizers that we really, really like. And so then I challenge myself to figure out the recipe. So this is...
You do an excellent job of that, figuring out exactly hacking what they put together.
I'm a hacker now.
To bring it home, and we enjoy it at the house.
Yes, so this is... I would say ignore him, but you can't ignore him because he is the other half of the hallway. But thank you for tolerating him and his shenanigans. I appreciate y'all. But this is my spin on a crab soup that we enjoy at Eddie V's. And so I have been kind of mastering my own recipe for about, what, a year now? 2 years now? And so we're going to share it with you guys while we chitter-chat. So, babe, if you could get started, this is the bacon. We just have some thick cut bacon here. But I like to cook mine in the oven to kind of save the smell in the house and also the splatter and all that. But I like to pepper it up. So I'm going to get him working on peppering up the bacon. And then the oven is already preheated to 425. So once you get that peppered to our liking, just throw that in the oven. And then I'm going to get to slicing and dicing. So we just have some green onion here, a jalapeno, a red pepper, orange pepper, and some onion. So I'm gonna get to slicing on that while we chit chat, and the veggies and everything have already been cleaned. So the first thing that I kind of wanted to chit chat about, babe, is, you know, we were sent we don't have little kids anymore in the house, as y'all know, but we were sent the Sesame Street Parade videos.
Yes.
And I'm sure, because it's been, what, a week or so ago now that all that went down. So I'm sure most of y'all know about that situation where there was the one character, Sesame Street character, that appears to be ignoring little black children.
Yes.
So,
and it seemed like from the video it happened multiple times.
Right, so that's the thing. When I saw the one that I guess kind of went viral, you know, just trying to give the benefit of the doubt and knowing Sesame Street and everything they stand for, I'm like, there has to be something else. Like, who would do that to a little kid? Maybe we're missing something. But once that video hit, then... Right,
the other ones came out, you know, that character and evidently a couple other characters they showed doing that.
Crazy. I mean, and I don't get it. What would be the reasoning behind being so mean? Like, how could you feel like it is your calling, I guess, to be a child's character? And I guess, I don't know if you would call it a calling. I guess there are some people who are just doing it for the check. But nevertheless, let's just say you're just doing it for the check. And you really don't like little kids, you don't like black people, you don't whatever, but you know that's your job.
Right.
Like, you're an entertainer.
Well, I think what some people, and this is kind of what happens a lot of times with people who are racist or something like that.
Did you say closet racist?
Yeah, I almost said something else. Closet racist. is they feel like they can hide it. And this particular individual, not exactly sure what happened on that, but I think they felt like because in the setting that they were in a costume where no one actually would see their face, then they can actually do what they want to do. And like I said, it'd be in a parade or something, so there's a lot of stuff going on. So they thought very well that they could do what they wanted to do, and fortunately, it was captured on film, and for it all to be to put out there for the public to see.
Yeah, and so you feel like this is like an opportunist, possibly, so to speak. Like, this is how I feel, but since nobody will know it's me. But I mean, it's one thing to be a racist, and I guess if you're a racist, you don't care about age or anything like that, because it's just like, dang, how could you be so mean to little kids?
How little kids not going to retaliate? An adult would.
But I saw the faces though on those little kids.
But I said it's a little kid, so they're like, who cares?
And that's what I mean. How could you not care? Like, that's the thing. Like, I am not like this big kid person. Like, it's not my calling to be a kindergarten teacher or a nanny.
Well, really,
but I still love children and I advocate for their feelings.
That doesn't matter. If you feel like you're better than someone because of the color of their skin, you feel like you're better. I don't know what gives those people right to think they're better than me or better than anybody just because my skin may look different than theirs.
And then how do you explain that to your child who's like, Mom, Dad, Susie Puppet Girl, because I don't know the names, was mean to me or ignored me. What do you say?
I really don't know. You just pull them to the side. You try to address it, as best you can without destroying them and what Sesame Street represents and what those characters kind of represent. And just, you just got to, I don't know, it's just a thin line you have to walk on that. I'm not exactly sure how you would address that with little kids like that. Fortunately, we don't have any little kids like that, but
we got grandbabies.
I'd be definitely open to have that conversation. You just got something you got to walk and find out how the kids are. Fortunately, kids that young, I'm not like sure how much they would be affected by it next week, because we know how kids are. They have something going on right now, and they tend to move on. So hopefully this is something they can definitely move on from and grow up and be the beautiful little ladies that they are, that they should become.
But my thing with that too, babe, like, I see what you're saying. Kids are very resilient. Very easy for them to just keep it moving, kind of out of sight, out of mind. However, these are little black girls, and the chances of this being the last time that they experience something like this is slim to none. So, it's crazy that possibly their first experience, I don't know, their backstory, but they're so little, so it could very well be their first time dealing with racism. Who would ever think it would be by one of their favorite Sesame Street characters? But nonetheless, it happened. But do you really think that the parents should just hope that it passes and it's out of their mind and they're resilient? Or is this the time to have the conversation about people will treat you differently because of the color of your skin?
It's time to have that conversation. But that's, have that conversation. And fortunately, we live in a time now where social media and everybody's got a camera, that this will not be the last time that this is shown. I pretty much can guarantee they will see this as they get older. The way things things that are recorded, especially things hit the internet, have a life of their own. They kind of stay out there. So I'm pretty sure they will see this again. But you need to have that conversation. We've had that conversation with our kids, and we continue to have that conversation. Things are going to be the way we're treated in this world, because there are people who, just because of the color of my skin, don't feel like I deserve or have the same rights as they do.
Right, and it's so crazy, because I guess when it comes to race relations and things like that, maybe things have gotten better since the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever. Maybe things have gotten better. But
there have been gradual progressions. Things are getting better. That unfortunately, one of the byproducts of that is that people are a lot more in the closet with their racism, so they will seek certain opportunities to go out and do things versus being open about it. My thing is, I'd rather know that you're racist than to know you're not racist.
Right, and so my point with that, my thought was, so you guys, I also am on TikTok. I have a TikTok, so follow your girl on TikTok at @StayHall. But I did a TikTok video on the 4th of July about my feelings about the 4th of July and me kind of deciding not to celebrate the 4th of July. We decided as a family in that traditional sense. We definitely observe Juneteenth and all that means to us. And so that is kind of, our Independence Day. 4th of July, 1776, our people weren't free. And so I don't feel it appropriate for me to celebrate a freedom that we didn't have. However, we still aren't totally free, is my opinion, and things like this kind of show that. And there were a lot of people, I got mainly support on TikTok, but there were those who were like, you weren't even living then, you're free now, so, you know, why, you know, are you making this kind of video? That happened a long time ago. That has nothing to do with today. And then I also got comments, you know, saying, well, if you hate it in America so much, then go back to where you came from, which is, you know, crazy too, because first of all, I never said in the video anything about hating anything or anybody. But also, I've been in the United States my entire life, so I have nowhere to go back to. But it's just the fact that things aren't as blatant today kind of just allow a lot of people to pretend that there is no such thing as racism, when unfortunately, as much as things have changed, a lot has stayed the same. And there are still people who treat us differently just because of the color of our skin. There's still some opportunities that we are passed over just because of the color of our skin. And now where it's been shown and gone viral that even our babies are looked over by characters for what it appears just to be the color of their skin.
Right.
So it's just, you know.
Well, it goes on with that term we talk about, free-ish.
Right.
You know, there's certain things that you do have access to. Juneteenth did give us a lot of freedoms, gave us a lot of opportunity to have, I'll put it this way, a seat at the table, but we can't really conduct business at the table. Let's put it that way. We're still trying to fight to have our voice heard at the table. We're allowed, because the Constitution can't deny us the table anymore, but they have been able to kind of keep us quiet for what we're doing at the table. But as time goes on, little by little, we've had so many people who have spoken up and who continue to march, protest, and act on our behalf to get us more of a voice at the table. It's starting to happen a little bit more. You know, it's always like that. You open the door a little bit so you can kind of get your foot in there so you can start speaking on it. And that's one of the things why I do the things I do, working with our police department, doing our nonprofit stuff, trying to help underprivileged children, stop the violence and those things in our neighborhood. So it's about just trying to make that difference wherever you can and get involved where you can and be willing to speak up. Sometimes you're not going to be in the best position or have the most favorable voice to speak up, but you have that opportunity to speak up when you can. Speak up and make a difference. You know, that's what we want to do. And yeah, that whole deal, like I said, my thing that gets me the most, I guess, is the people that completely deny anything's wrong.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. A lot of times people, I think, are of the mindset that there is no racism because I guess we're allowed to go wherever we want. We're not being...
Not really, but yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? We have those freedoms on paper, you know, and people are, you know, and we're not being lynched every other day, you know, in the town square, and we're not being, you know, hunted down by police dogs, you know, that, and crosses burned in our yard. And not to say that that stuff never happens still, but I think a lot of people are of the mindset that since that stuff is not a daily occurrence, oh, you're free, you're good. And that's not the case.
Yeah, I just know some of this stuff.
Gonna melt some butter, y'all. I'm sorry. Kerrygold, half a stick, pot's preheating, just gonna put this in.
Yeah, I know some of the stuff that's been stated to me by people of the other hue of the different color hue of their skin. And some of the stuff that I've done, you know, for speaking out and saying different stuff. And, you know, people say, well, why are you feeling this way? You're in this particular income bracket, or you got this particular type of career or something like that. You know, I'm just one of the ones who've been able to persevere, and I try to open the door and allow more of us to persevere and expose more of our people to that you can be successful. You can do it no matter what other people are telling you. You have to just keep fighting and moving forward.
Absolutely. Babe, can you open this? So this is just some cream cheese, not Philadelphia cream cheese, Great Value cream cheese. So just open this, cut this in half. I use a half of this, and then if you can open the sour cream. And y'all, this would usually be Great Value sour cream, but they didn't have any. But so, you know, I'm just going to use $1 for Daisy. But get those. And so I have the butter melting And so I'm just gonna add my chopped vegetables. So we have the peppers, the green onions, the white onion, and that's all just gonna go in the butter just to kind of, I already say simmer down, just to get a nice little simmer on that.
Simmer down now.
Simmer down. So how's it feel to be cooking with me today, babe?
Oh, it's just fun.
You're a pretty good sous chef. I don't think you've ever helped me with this particular recipe before.
No, I haven't. Not this particular one.
So definitely one of our favorites.
She kept it a secret from me for some reason. She wouldn't tell me what's in it or how she did what she did.
I didn't know that you were interested in how the soup was made. I just know you like to eat the soup. And so our youngest, who is away at his internship, just called right before we got started and asked me what I was cooking. And I told him, and he was like, oh, so that's how y'all do. I'm not home and you're making crab soup. I'm like, dude, we have to eat. And he's like, oh, when I get home, you're gonna just order me a pizza, which is not true. I cook all the time. Not to say that I don't ever order pizza, but he also wants to eat like 10 times a day. But yeah, he tried to make me feel guilty. And then he said, well, can you make it when I get home? Because I think your crab soup is now my favorite meal. He used to like this meal I made with ground beef. We call it gravy train. If you're from Pittsburgh, you know what I'm talking about. The ground beef and gravy over a bed of rice, and yeah, it's really simple. Yeah, put that half in there. Really a simple dish, but that used to be his favorite, but now he says the crab soup is his favorite. So I will make it for him because he'll be home on August 13th, I think, and he'll only be home for 11 days before he has to go back away for school. So in 11 days, he'll probably get just about whatever he wants. So y'all, I have those veggies in there, kind of sauteing, doing their thing, and then we'll start adding some other stuff and chat about another topic.
Sure.
So we have all of the peppers, the onions, the butter, and the cream cheese all in here, kind of mixing those together. Cream cheese is not a very easy melt, so I like to put it in early so I can really see it, because you don't want chunks and clumps of cream cheese in your soup. So I like to put that in there early on so I can really work with the cream cheese and get that melted good. So I put that in there early with the vegetables so I can make sure it's nice and smooth. And I just have the fire, if you have a gas stove, like in between medium and low, because I don't want it burning, cooking too fast, but I do need enough heat to get it all melted. But so another thing I wanted to discuss, since we were talking about children and advocating for children and protecting children, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So this is probably about 2 weeks old, and again, I'm not a big TV person, so a lot of things I don't even know about until time for this bacon to come out. I don't know about until after, you know, it's already happened for a while, like somebody has to bring it to my attention. But Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, our girl Garcelle from the Jamie Foxx show is on there, and a young lady by the name of Erika Jayne. And I shouldn't say young lady, only because the fact that she's not a young lady makes this whole situation even crazier, because you would think that with age would come wisdom and, you know. But anyway, evidently on the show, someone was having a party like they always do, and Garcelle's children were there. So I don't know if it was Garcelle's party or whatever, but there was a party and Garcelle's children were there. So Garcelle has an older son that I want to say is in his 20s or something. You know, I'm not sure how old he is, but he is an adult. And I guess the lady, Erika, was kind of trying to flirt with him or whatever. Just some chicken broth, y'all. I'm probably going to use about half of this. And y'all know I'm the same way with cooking everything. There is no straight up recipe with measurements of cups and ounces and all that. So I do everything by sight and taste. So I'm just going to mix that in there with the cream cheese and the vegetables and everything. But anyway, so Erika was at this party, Garcelle was at this party, the kids were at the party. Yeah, y'all, and Mr. is still here. He's just holding the camera. So y'all will hear him more than you'll see him for a little bit. But anyway, so I guess Erika called herself flirting with Garcelle's oldest son. Really nice looking young man, you know, whatever, young black man. And I think he may be biracial. I'm not sure. I know her younger kids are, but that really doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm just saying, because we were talking about the whole race thing earlier. But again, whether he's biracial or not, you know, people are going to consider him black. So again, mistreating the black children in this. So, do you know the story?
Yeah, go ahead, listen.
Okay, well, you're laughing, but it does make sense, because I do wonder if the same thing would happen if he weren't black. And it's not even him. But anyway, she's flirting with him. And so she's flirting with him, having a conversation. Then Garcelle's younger son walks in and says something. And she says to him, "Get the F out of here," or "Shut the F up." Something like this. Now, this is a younger son, like a teenage son. And that's what this grown adult woman, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Erika just like recently turned 50. Like, she definitely old enough to know better. Now, what I'm so glad about is, even though this was an adult talking to him, and you know, we teach our kids, you know, listen to your elders, respect your elders, and this is a family friend, I'm glad he still went and told his mother. And Garcelle, of course, confronted Erika and told her, "Hey, that's not cool." She didn't really go off, and I think a lot of that too is being on the show and the whole perception of the angry black woman. She probably kind of dialed back a little bit because she didn't want things getting spun on her, but she did let her know that that's not cool when you don't talk to people's kids like that. But a lot of the other women found it to be funny, and all of the other women being Caucasian women. And so I just wonder, because they are all so sensitive about so many things. It's like, would this have been funny if that was your kids? You know what I mean? Or is this just funny because this is a teenage black boy? What do you think?
I don't really know if race had anything to do with that. That was just a bad decision on someone saying something. I'm not sure, because she was trying to mac on the other one, so I don't think race had anything to do with it. I think he just walked in on a cougar on the prowl.
Yeah,
and she just
still
responded. So
I mean, race may not have anything to do with it, but it's just that comfort level. Because the thing is, people will, like, if she finds him attractive and she's trying to mac on him or whatever, but it's not like she's trying to marry him. You know, people will date and try to mac on people, and that's that. So, you know, he's a nice looking black guy, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have a racist bone in her body. Because I just wonder, would she have felt that comfortable talking to a white child?
When people say kids say weird stuff to kids all the time and do stuff to kids all the time, and that's what I say, I really can't say that one way or another what it actually was. But, you know, like I say, because the kid was the same as the other kid as far as that goes. I think it was disrespectful what she done, but people say stuff, and when kids are in certain places, she just felt really comfortable, and she made a comment telling them to get the F out of there.
Yeah, so what do you think about Garcelle?
She didn't want him to listen to her conversation. Garcelle handled it right. It was just apparent, you know, Mama
garlic butter, y'all.
Mama Bear protecting the cubs. That's exactly what she did. She responded the right way. She handled it professionally, I guess, or, you know, the way she
right.
handled it.
So that's what I mean. Do you think she was kind of dialed back a little more than maybe she wanted to be because she's on that show?
I think she'd handle it as a woman, as a mother would handle it. I mean, I don't know what else she could have done or shouldn't have done. Some people have different temperature levels.
I know what I would have done.
Some people have different temperature gauges that they kick up a little bit more, and some people have a little bit more even keel with it. So she addressed it, you know, perfectly in my opinion, but that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I just hate, you know, feeling like maybe people, you know, we just get such a bad rap as black women, and I just hate the fact that sometimes I feel like we have to mute ourselves and dial back and not respond even in the way that, you know, a response is deserved, for fear of the whole angry black woman thing. You know,
No,
that
I don't think
have.
Garcelle was. I think knowing Garcelle, she's gonna respond the way she wants to respond, and that's just how she chose to respond with that to that situation, rather.
Lump crab meat, y'all. Putting it in here with the garlic butter. Yeah, I hope so. And I guess I'm just thinking about how I probably would have responded, and it's just like, yeah.
That's one day, in life, people don't always respond the way we want them to, or the way we should. We think they should, but I think she responded great. She handled it great. She still, nobody could come at her and say nothing.
Right, and I definitely am not upset with her at how she responded, because we all are different, and she did, she made it known, and she even, made it known that she was upset at the women who didn't think it was a big deal and thought it was funny. My only thing is, and I've heard that she struggled with, being a black woman on that show.
Yeah, of course. Coming into the show, she said that.
Yeah, that just some Old Bay seasoning up the crab meat.
Well, she had that situation coming where they thought she didn't pay for something one time.
Yes.
And she had to, and she felt like, because, and that could have very well been, that was 50-50 if that was the way it was handled, because she was a black woman, and the way it wasn't, the way it kind of perceived her. But she handled her business. I think she's represented herself very well in this show.
Yeah, I do too. I just want her to be able to be herself and not feel like, okay, I can't be too expressive, overly expressive, or there's angry black woman, so that's my only thing, and that may not be.
But like I said, some people respond and want to blow the whole world up, and some people respond and say, you know what, that is what it is. I'm going to handle it the way I feel like it should be handled. We all respond differently to certain things.
Yeah.
And we all say a lot of times, I would have done this, I would have done that. Truth be known, how can you really say what you would have done in that situation?
Oh, I know what I would have done. And that probably would have been my last episode, but yeah, I cannot take anybody, mistreating any children, and mine. And
well, the chance you take on that is because of that it's such a public show, you blowing up, and then
sour cream, y'all.
And now you've not only done that, you've embarrassed your kids too as a possibility.
Well, I don't know. Are your kids really embarrassed when they know exactly what's going on? You know what I mean? I just would think that my kids would be like, my mom is riding for me. I mean,
But we also know a situation where someone saw their sister react a certain way, and then all they could think of was the way their mom reacted to certain things, and they were like, that please don't act like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends, but I just always want my kids to know.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he knows his mom has his back, because she didn't just dismiss it. She went there and said what she did.
Yeah, no, I was just talking.
It'd have been different if the woman had hit the kid or something like that, and all she said was that wasn't right. She just made a inappropriate comment.
Right, and like I said, I'm not saying anything against Garcelle at all. I'm just saying how I probably would handle it, and you were saying embarrassing the kids, and I'm just saying.
Well, I said you take a chance on that. I didn't say you would. I said you just take a chance on that happening. I know a lot of parents are going to say, I would have done this, I would have done that. But like I say, you got to, take that into consideration.
So what about the other ladies thinking that it was funny? And I think even one of the husbands thought it was funny. Do you think that's racist?
That's always a weird thing to me, because people laugh at uncomfortable situations all the time. And you hear something, and sometimes you laugh to keep from doing this and that. And it's hard in the moment a lot of times to differentiate and say,
well, no, from what I heard, it wasn't in the moment. This was like conversations the next day.
Oh, well, like I say, people laugh at uncomfortable stuff all the time. So, I don't know.
He's always giving people the benefit of the doubt. Me, not so much. Me, not so much. But yeah, y'all.
Yeah, because there's been some crazy stuff that's happened. You're like, yeah. You're like, ah.
What does that mean? You just made
me. You kind of laugh and you kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just nothing funny about that. And I'm just like, would they have thought it was funny if she was out in these streets talking to her kids? Her kids like that? Oops, y'all, I'm dropping stuff in the refrigerator. But yeah, I don't know. How's it looking?
It's looking good.
Good. So have this kind of coming to a boil, and then I'm going to add my heavy whipping cream. And this is just about half full, y'all. I already used some of this. So add that heavy whipping cream and then turn the heat up just a little bit, not quite too high. But we want to make sure as we're adding cooler things, we don't let the temperature go down too low. So. All right, y'all, we're gonna let this temperature get back up, and I'll get back with y'all with the next steps. All right, guys, so my base has come to a boil, and what I'm gonna do is add some finely shredded Italian cheese. So this is a blend of 6 cheeses: mozzarella, provolone, parmesan, asiago, fontina, and romano cheese. And I'm probably gonna use about half of this. And this is something that we try to do pretty often with each other, is just cook a meal together, or at least hang out together while I'm cooking, you know, and just have that dialogue. It's just a nice way for us to just connect after a long day. You know, so I try to do this every once in a while. A lot of times I try to cook so that things are done by the time he gets home. But, you know, once in a while, I just kind of like to wait for him to get home, and he just keeps me company while I'm cooking. Now, once you add this cheese in here, you want to really make sure that you're mixing that really good. And baby, can you start cutting up that bacon? The bacon is done and nice and crisp. And you're going to feel your base start to thicken up. But yeah, it's like, you know, kind of like a date night on a random Monday. Y'all, do y'all hear my phone? It's probably one of those group texts. Which, yeah, it's a group text. Let me mute it. I hate group text. And not like I never send them, but here's the thing, y'all. When you send group text, always give people the option to respond separately, because you never know what's going on with somebody and what they're doing. Like now, I'm recording. They don't know I'm recording, but, you know, anybody could be involved in anything. And even if you have your phone on vibrate, that still can become annoying after a while, even if it's only you who hears it vibrating or sees it popping up, especially when people are rapid fire responding. So I do send group texts once in a while for my own convenience, but I always say, please feel free to respond separately, you know, just to kind of trigger people to do that, because I know it can be annoying. How you feel about group text?
Yeah, I don't like, please, I always try to respond to people when they do. I respond individually. Very seldom I respond to a group unless it's truly a group situation.
Yeah, and it's so, I feel embarrassed. This is just some more Parmesan, y'all. I'm just going to use probably about a handful of the Parmesan. And then I'm going to put some cheddar in here too. I think I forgot to pull it out. But I always feel embarrassed for the creator of the group text when somebody says, please remove me from this text. Which I don't think you can really do that on a group text. Can you remove people?
I don't know. I've never really tried. I always say when it gives me an option to silence this, I silence it.
Yeah, that's what I just did. But yeah, I don't think you can remove. Oh, look how he just jumped in, y'all. So now I'm gonna add like a handful of the extra sharp cheddar cheese. It's all velvety smooth. But yeah, I just think, you know, people have easy access to one another. You know, technology is great, but I just think we sometimes overdo it and don't respect people's boundaries, because I also think it's crazy when people decide to send these messages and stuff in the middle of the night or the wee hours of the morning. Like, come on, because for me, again, I hate when people say, well, just silence your phone. No, I'm not going to silence my phone. I have kids out in this world, you know, doing their thing that may need me at any given moment and I don't want to miss one of their calls because I had to silence it. How about you just don't text me at 5 a.m.? Simple as that. Like, I would never do that. I just feel like the convenience of things, because back in the day when we just had like the house phone, your phone was not going to be ringing at 5 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, unless it was an emergency. But now things have just become so open and, you know, just people don't even think about it. That old-fashioned common courtesy just isn't there. Just some cracked pepper, y'all. I put this in just about everything. Never had too much cracked pepper. So for those of y'all who are in a relationship, do you guys cook together? Drop it in the comments below. Let me know. I'm curious. And if you don't, do you think you might start? If you do, what kind of things do you cook together? I'm just always curious because y'all know everything about us. I want to know stuff about y'all too. So, but this is just about finished. It's nice and silky. And so what I'm going to do now is add the corn that's already off the cob and steamed. Look at that, y'all. Nice and silky, smooth. And since the corn is already steamed, I just kind of wait to put it in there towards the end. And then the moment we've all been waiting for, we're gonna add this. Look at that crab meat, y'all. Add the crab. Kind of turn the heat up on this a little bit again. Looks good, y'all. And then last but not least, the bacon. Definitely last, because you don't want it to get chewy. Mix this all together and I'll show y'all what it looks like once we get it all bowled up.
Bowled up.
It's almost time. So everything is finished. We are about to put the soup in the bowl, but we're getting our wine selection for tonight.
Got a nice little red wine from some very close friends of mine, Brendan and Max. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all very much. Going to enjoy that tonight with this.
What's that called, babe?
Zabrini, I think that's how you pronounce that name.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Just gonna get that wine poured. It always takes me like, see. Okay, y'all, so it always takes me forever to get the foil cutter to work. And so I asked Wallace here, I said, hey babe, you want me to wait to start recording until after you get that foil off? Because you know that thing don't work. Oh no, I'll be fine.
Still got it done.
You did. You got it done way quicker than me. Oh, and you got the cork out quicker than me, so I ain't mad at you.
That smells.
It smells good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all want to smell it? Oh, that does smell good. A nice bouquet. Let me get that pouring action. Let me see what kind of sommelier you are.
I'm holding the glass wrong already, I know, but these are stemless wine glasses, so it's going to pour differently. I'm going to hold it differently.
I like that sound. Very good. That should pair nicely with this crab soup.
What are some of you guys' favorite wine? Put that in the comments below.
Yeah, are y'all red wine drinkers, white wine? When I first got introduced to wine, I was definitely a white wine girl. But now I like the reds, and I don't like sweet at all. Soup is, look at that, y'all. We are about to eat good. Good, good, good.
Nothing against you if you do like the sweet wines.
No.
Everybody has the palate that they prefer, and that's kind of what we kind of went to.
Yeah. Yeah. Put it in the bowl. Let me rinse this. All right, y'all. Let's see how it looks. Ladle it on up. That looks good. All right, guys, so there is the final product. We are about to sit down and crush this crab soup. We have a little side salad here. Not much in the salad. Where are you at? Where are you?
Trying to turn it around.
Oh, Lord. He always talk about me. He just as bad. Little side salad here with our favorite dressing from Babes. Not much, but it's a soup and salad and wine type of day. So, guys, we're about to crush this and we're going to let y'all get to your dinner or whatever. But we thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Thank you for hanging out with us. If you have any comments or opinions on the things we discussed today, definitely feel free to drop them down in the comments. Also, tell us about what your favorite meals are and what
wine
you guys
choices.
cook together and your wine choices. And until next time, thank you so much. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you next time in the hallway. Bye, y'all.